It's now time for Crime in the DMV. This is where we bring you the latest headlines from the week. I'm Sierra Fox. We start in Prince George's County, where a 6-year-old was shot during a 4th of July barbecue. The search now continues for the suspects responsible. Fox 5's Nana Sandy Bonsu has the details.
Police tell us that the 6-year-old boy is in critical but stable condition. State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy is asking the community to pray for this boy who was out celebrating the 4th of July at a community event when gunfire broke out in Temple Hills.
I thought it was fireworks because, you know, it's the 4th of July.
This neighbor was in her backyard celebrating when she heard people outside her home running and yelling for help. Just before 8 o'clock, Prince George's County Police say people started shooting towards a home here on the 4500 block of Akron Street, where a community event was taking place.
At least 2 people were firing in one direction.
3 people were shot, including a 6-year-old boy who was rushed to the hospital.
The kid is everybody's kid. It could have been mine.
2 other people were shot and are expected to be okay.
At that time, I wasn't sure if it was my grandchildren.
Her grandson was at the event.
He went up to cut hair for free for the event. It was an event. It was a free event for the neighborhood that they do mostly for the last 4 years, 5 years. For the kids.
Neighbors tell us there were about 50 children in attendance. They say it's usually a safe event.
Unfortunately, social media, you know, it gets out, and so a lot of people started to come. Yeah. A lot of the people that were there don't even live in our neighborhood.
State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy says she will seek the maximum charges and penalties for those involved in the shooting.
This crime was so outrageous.
Neighbors on the street tell me more needs to be done to protect the people, especially the children in this community.
I would like to see more police presence in the neighborhood, which I don't see until something really happens.
Now, State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy is using this unfortunate event to encourage the community to involve the police in their plans this summer. So whether you're throwing a cookout or a block party, she says call the police so they can come and make sure there is a presence there. Now, police here in Prince George's County, they're asking people who live in this neighborhood to check their Ring and doorbell cameras. Anyone with information that could lead police to an arrest are asked to call 911.
What started as robberies in Maryland ended as a fiery, deadly crash in the district after a police chase. 2 teen suspects are now dead. A 3rd got hurt and is under arrest. Fox 5's Lili Zhang has more on this investigation spanning multiple jurisdictions.
The suspect they arrested yesterday has been identified as Demetrius Koger. He's 19 years old, and according to police, he tried to run away from the scene in Southeast D.C. yesterday off of Southern Avenue. That is where the car crashed along that street. Police say the car hit a tree so hard, in fact, that it split into 2. 2 people inside the car were killed. One of them was identified today as 17-year-old Deshaun Harris. The second person who died has not been ID'd yet. The car was first spotted by Anne Arundel County Police earlier in the day. It was believed to have been connected to several robberies over the past few weeks. The robberies, more commonly referred to as jugging, involve victims allegedly targeted after getting money out of the bank or an ATM. Now, there have been at least 40 in the region over the past few months.
Yesterday, again, an unfortunate ending, but again, we've had victims throughout the region who, quite frankly, have been terrorized over the last 6 months by suspects that have been doing this. So we're continuing to investigate. We're continuing to work with our regional partners to kind of get a handle on all these crimes that have been happening.
Now, the suspect was initially scheduled to have a court hearing today. However, we were last told that he is still in surgery.
In Maryland, a CVS store is now locking up refrigerated drinks in an effort to stop thefts. Fox 5's Nana Sandy Bonsu explains.
The CVS here in downtown Silver Spring gets a lot of foot traffic, and they're also experiencing an increase of theft, something that we're seeing across our region at different stores. We've seen a number of things from diapers, deodorant, and detergents being locked up. But the latest thing here that you're going to need an employee to unlock for you are cold drinks, and that's including water. So if you want to run in on a hot day and grab yourself a cold drink, a soda, juice, energy drink, or even milk, milk, you're going to have to push a button on the fridge for customer service. Now, you're probably asking, why is CVS doing this? They say it's because of theft. In a statement, CVS tells Fox 5, it's important that we keep products in stock and available for our customers to purchase. Different products experience different theft rates depending on the store location and other factors, and other product protection decisions are data-driven. A number of customers we spoke with today say they get it, but it's frustrating, especially when they're pressed for time and you now have to wait anywhere from a minute to 3 minutes for an employee to unlock the fridge.
It's really inconvenient, especially if you want to get in and go and you got one person in the front. Sometimes you got to ask the pharmacy, and of course they can't leave their department. But it's really like inconvenient for regular people, especially during rush hour where people just want to get home. They lock up everything, diapers, laundry detergent, everything. I mean, the sodas was the last straw with me. Pretty much.
It just takes time away from like when you're on a break or something. It's just like I'm trying to come in and out, and then it's just like at this point I don't know what else is going to be locked up, and then it's just going to be like constantly calling someone. And yeah, it's just a lot.
And now a number of people that we spoke with here did bring up security. They said, why not CVS just hire security guards? And CVS says they put into place a number of different theft prevention measures, and usually locking things up is their last resort.
An investigation is underway after a carjacking suspect was shot by Metro Transit police. The violence happening near the Rosslyn Metro station in Arlington. Fox 5's Bob Barnard is staying ahead of this one.
The suspect in this case is still alive, in stable condition at the hospital. He was shot on the sidewalk behind me, kind of where you see the orange cones there. It was a large crime scene here in the heart of Rosslyn, right around noontime. The main focus of police investigators near the intersection of 19th Street North and North Kent Street, just 3 blocks from the Key Bridge. And this is video of first responders and the Metro Transit police officer who shot him performing CPR on the man said to be a suspect in 2 attempted carjackings just moments earlier. The recording made by Eddie Smith, who says he was staying in an upper floor room at a hotel across the street.
I heard a shot, I heard a scream, I heard some police orders sounding stuff, and I looked out my window to see what it was that I was hearing. And that's when I saw the officer with his suspect on the ground, and it looked like he was trying to cuff him up. And then another officer runs in. It looks like they need to start performing some sort of first aid.
And that's when he started recording the scene below. The wounded man would lose a lot of blood and be rushed to the hospital. Metro Transit police telling us one of their officers shot the suspect after witnessing him trying to steal somebody's car.
So he was responding to the Rosslyn Metro station, and he happened upon this individual trying to carjack a person.
How was the victim of that carjacking?
Well, obviously, seemed to be shaken up, but Arlington County detectives are working with the victims, but nobody else was injured other than the suspect who was shot.
Yes, Metro Transit Police Chief Mike Anzolo used the word victims. He says the first attempted carjacking victim was targeted on North Nash Street and Fort Myer Drive. After a foot chase lasting about 3 blocks, police say the suspect tried to steal another vehicle, believed to be that yellow trash truck. And that's when he was shot and wounded on the sidewalk right next to the truck. How is your officer?
The officer a little shaken up, but he's doing well. He's got a lot of blood on his clothing from trying to do CPR on the person.
Police say they're not sure whether the suspect was armed. We did see crime scene investigators recover as evidence what appears to be a small, empty plastic package of some kind. For Eddie Smith, it was a startling start to his day.
That's shocking. I mean, I used to work over here. I worked over here for 5 years in a pretty quiet neighborhood. Don't see a lot of that going on.
Now, the Metro Transit Police Chief says his officers are trained for incidents like this. They go through the academy and are certified here in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland as well.
A Montgomery County man is dead after getting into an argument with his neighbor. Fox 5's Naniseni Bonsu speaks with the victim's family.
I thought my dad was going to make it. I mean, he's a really strong man. Was a really strong man.
For 17 days, Marvin Guevara laid in a hospital bed fighting for his life after a heated argument turned physical with his next-door neighbor.
My dad got hurt. Yeah, really bad.
His son, Marvin Guevara Jr., wasn't home during the time of the incident, but rushed to the house on Buck Lodge Road in Boyd's when he got a call that his father wasn't doing well.
He was walking around, spraying water on his head, saying that he couldn't handle the headache he had. He could barely walk. He was like dizzy.
Dizzy from several punches to the head before collapsing shortly after first responders arrived. Medics told Guevara Jr. that his father had a seizure before going into a coma. Police say Guevara and a female neighbor who lives next door were arguing after she complained about his dogs running loose in her backyard.
Our dogs, basically, right? They had escaped and gone to their property. Yeah.
The argument turned violent when police say the woman hits Guevara in the head. Guevara's daughter-in-law, who was present, alleges the neighbor punched him from the back at least twice, sending him to the ground.
The neighbor hit her in-law in the neck.
She recorded this video shortly after, where you see a woman and her father asking them to get off their property.
It's everywhere.
We walked over to the house next door to see if they had a comment. Are you aware the gentleman passed away?
No.
Okay, he passed away on Sunday.
Yeah, well, he was trespassing. Blatant trespass.
Guevara's son says they rarely interacted with their neighbors.
I'm not saying anything else, okay? So I wouldn't come any farther than that, okay? You see the signs right there?
Any more comments? As the family waits for an autopsy report, they're planning a funeral for a husband and father of 4.
He was a wonderful person. He always smiled, he was always there for others. He always had a good heart.
Well, that does it for this week's Crime in the DMV. We have a new one every week that you can find right here on Fox Local. Thanks for watching.